The Americans still cannot get rid, and we're not sure if they will ever get rid of their syndrome of ideas of exclusivity, and they think that everything is allowed to them. And they are telling the world, the countries of Africa and Latin America and Europe, of course, how they should act in terms of economic and political affairs, and that they should cooperate with the United States against any competitor that Washington thinks has fell out of favor.
Have you heard that there is high activity in the American White House and France's presidential palace at the moment? But why is that so? Well, that's because Russia is sending more military instructors and weapons to Burkina Faso, immediately after sending the first batch. But is Russia so active in sending military instructors? What's the secret plan that Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traoré and Russian President Vladimir Putin made a few months ago that is now being executed? And why has it caused a stir and high alert in the Western countries' presidents' houses? Let's know about that in this video. So, what has happened? On the evening of June 4, 2024, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov arrived in Burkina Faso, marking his first visit to the West African nation as part of his ongoing African tour. Lavrov was welcomed by Burkina Faso's foreign minister, Karamoko Jean-Marie Traoré, setting the stage for a series of diplomatic engagements aimed at strengthening the ties between Russia and Burkina Faso. In his opening remarks during talks with Minister Traoré, Lavrov praised the rapidly developing relations between the two countries. He attributed this progress to agreements made at the Second Russia-Africa Summit held the previous year, which laid the groundwork for enhanced cooperation and mutual understanding between Russia and various African nations, including Burkina Faso. Since Captain Ibrahim Traoré took power in a coup in 2022, Burkina Faso has been actively working to build stronger ties with Russia. This shift in foreign policy was evident through the frequent visits of Burkinabe officials to Russia. Notably, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Kassoum Coulibaly, had traveled to Russia, symbolizing the deepening of military and diplomatic relations between the two countries. Lavrov's visit to Burkina Faso was part of a broader African tour that began on Monday, with his first stops being the Republic of Guinea and the Republic of the Congo. During these visits, Lavrov sought to reinforce Russia's commitment to fostering strong relationships with African countries, emphasizing mutual respect and cooperation. On June 5th, Lavrov was scheduled to meet with Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso. This meeting was highly anticipated as it was expected to further solidify the burgeoning relationship between the two countries. It was this talk that led to some shocking deals, which you will know about in a moment. During his visit to Burkina Faso, Lavrov said that Russians feel at home like friends in Africa. This sentiment revealed the warmth and hospitality he experienced in Burkina Faso. It also highlighted the friendly and cooperative spirit that characterized the interactions between Russian and Burkinabe officials. Lavrov highlighted Burkina Faso as the first African country to cooperate quickly and effectively with Russia. He pointed out that the recent opening of the Russian House in Burkina Faso was a significant step towards bringing the two countries closer together. The Russian House was intended to serve as a cultural and diplomatic hub, promoting Russian culture and fostering people-to-people connections. Various joint projects are underway, reflecting the collaborative efforts between Russia and Burkina Faso. These projects span multiple sectors, including agriculture, education, and infrastructure, aiming to boost the economic and social development of Burkina Faso. The cooperation in these areas demonstrated the practical benefits of the strengthened relationship, with both nations standing to gain from mutual support and shared initiatives. But what secret deal about military instructors' deployment has been done that has created shockwaves in the West? Russia's choice to dispatch additional military supplies and instructors to Burkina Faso represents a strategic maneuver aimed at bolstering the defense capabilities of the West African nation. This decision, as conveyed by Russian state media, was disclosed by Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov during his visit to Burkina Faso. Following a coup in 2022, Burkina Faso has been under military rule and has hosted units of the Wagner mercenary force, established by Yevgeny Prigozhin, who tragically perished in a plane crash last August. Lavrov underscored the strong collaboration between Russia and Burkina Faso, emphasizing their involvement across various domains, including military and military technical cooperation. Expressing assurance in the efficacy of this partnership, Lavrov said that Russia is confident that as a result of this collaboration, the remaining terrorist threats on the soil of Burkina Faso will be eradicated. Lavrov's trip to Burkina Faso forms part of a broader diplomatic endeavor by Russia in Africa, aiming to secure new trade partners and advocate for a multipolar world free from Western dominance. Russia wants to ensure that African countries like Burkina Faso have their own capabilities to take care of internal security threats. Instead of offering a gap for Western states like France to fill, Burkina Faso is being made to develop military capabilities, so it becomes fully independent in addressing security concerns. However, that's what makes the West nervous. The deepening security relations between Russia and African nations, including Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, have elicited concerns from the US and other Western governments. Concurrently, Russian firms are expanding their economic footprint in Africa, with ongoing negotiations in Sierra Leone for bauxite mining concessions and planned discussions with Russia's leading diamond producer, Al-Rosa. During a press conference in Ouagadougou, Lavrov announced a surge in the number of Russian military instructors in Burkina Faso, underscoring Moscow's commitment to bolstering its influence on the continent. He highlighted the reciprocal aspect of the collaboration, stating that Russia is providing training to representatives of Burkina Faso's armed forces and security forces in Russia. This initiative aligns with Russia's broader strategy of strengthening ties with African nations amid strained relations with Western countries following the Ukraine conflict. Lavrov reiterated his confidence in the effectiveness of Russian-Burkinabe collaboration in combating terrorism, particularly against jihadist insurgents active in Burkina Faso since 2015. He expressed belief that through this partnership, terrorist threats within Burkina Faso would be eliminated. This is quite different from how the West seems to help African countries, where Western troops are deployed and the security problem worsens. That's the irony of Western military aid. But what's the nuclear deal that has made things quite serious? Well, earlier, during the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, Russia and Burkina Faso took a significant step forward in their cooperation on the peaceful uses of nuclear technology by signing several memorandums of understanding. These MOUs, focusing on education and training, infrastructure development, and public opinion, were signed by Rosatom Director General Alexei Likhachov and Burkina Faso's Minister of Energy, Mines and Quarries, Yakuba Zabre Guba. These agreements lay the foundation for collaboration in key areas. They aim to enhance education and training in nuclear energy, assess and develop nuclear infrastructure, and promote a positive public perception of nuclear energy. The goal is to foster the peaceful application of nuclear technology in Burkina Faso, particularly in fields like medicine and agriculture. Rosatom emphasized that the agreements would facilitate partnerships between educational institutions, support teacher training, and initiate student exchange programs. This educational exchange is designed to build local expertise in nuclear technology, ensuring that Burkina Faso can develop a skilled workforce capable of managing and utilizing nuclear technology effectively. Additionally, the agreements include efforts to raise public awareness about the benefits of non-energy applications of nuclear technology. This involves highlighting its potential to improve healthcare and agricultural practices. For instance, nuclear technology can be used in medical diagnostics and treatment, enhancing the healthcare system. In agriculture, it can improve crop yields and food safety through techniques such as irradiation. However, the West fears that if this happens, Burkina Faso's people will learn how to use nuclear energy in making nuclear weapons. It's quite illogical that the West thinks it's safe if they themselves have nuclear weapons, but if its rivals develop them, it's a global threat. These new MOUs build upon earlier agreements signed in October 2023 and March 2024. The previous agreements outlined a roadmap for developing nuclear energy projects and leveraging nuclear technology for various practical applications in Burkina Faso. These foundational agreements set the stage for the more detailed and actionable plans outlined in the latest MOUs. The timing of the signing of these MOUs was significant, as it coincided with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's visit to Burkina Faso for diplomatic talks. This high-level visit underscored the importance both nations place on their burgeoning partnership. During a press conference following their discussions, Burkina Faso's Foreign Minister, Karamoko Jean-Marie Traoré, expressed optimism about the cooperation. He stated that the partnership is a positive factor that will allow Burkina Faso to further develop infrastructure in this direction. Traoré emphasized that developing the energy sector remains a top priority for the country, reflecting the strategic importance of these agreements for Burkina Faso's national development. Lavrov's visit and the signing of the MOUs highlight the deepening bond between Russia and Burkina Faso. Both nations are committed to leveraging nuclear technology for peaceful and beneficial purposes. This partnership is seen as mutually advantageous, with Russia providing the technical expertise and resources, and Burkina Faso offering opportunities for implementing advanced technologies to address local challenges. The focus on peaceful uses of nuclear technology aligns with global efforts to promote sustainable development. By investing in nuclear technology, Burkina Faso aims to achieve several development goals, including improving healthcare outcomes, enhancing agricultural productivity, and building robust infrastructure. These advancements are expected to contribute to the overall economic and social development of the country. Something should be noted here. Burkina Faso had ties with the West and especially France for decades. However, none of them offered Burkina Faso anything that could make it autonomous. Unlike Russia, which wants Burkina Faso to be capable of doing everything for itself, the West did the opposite and kept Burkina Faso dependent for even the minutest things. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. And is it really true that Burkina Faso will be given nuclear weapons? Well, Vladimir Putin's recent speech at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum reiterated Russia's potential strategy of providing weapons to adversaries of the West. This reiteration of an earlier warning highlights Russia's assertive stance amid geopolitical tensions. Putin emphasized the conditions under which nuclear weapons could be used according to Russia's nuclear doctrine, emphasizing their permissibility only in exceptional circumstances, threatening the nation's sovereignty and territorial integrity. However, he also hinted at the possibility of revising this doctrine in the future to adapt to evolving security dynamics. Putin's discussion on Russia's nuclear doctrine included consideration of conducting nuclear tests if deemed necessary, though he stressed that such actions are currently unnecessary. This acknowledgement of flexibility within Russia's nuclear policy demonstrates the nation's willingness to adjust to emerging threats while maintaining a deterrent stance. In other words, Russia could soon provide nuclear weapons to Burkina Faso. Furthermore, Putin reaffirmed Moscow's commitment to using nuclear weapons if necessary to protect Russia's sovereignty. This assertion underscores Russia's commitment to safeguard its national interests and deter potential adversaries. But what nuclear weapons can be provided? In a recent extensive press conference, Vladimir Putin hinted at Russia's ability to supply nuclear missiles to other nations as a strategic move to sway ongoing discussions among Western countries. This suggestion comes amidst Russia's exclusion or voluntary withdrawal from various international events, including significant commemorations like the 80th anniversary of D-Day and high-profile diplomatic gatherings such as the G7 summit, as well as negotiations regarding Ukraine. Putin seized this opportunity to emphasize Russia's reluctance to allow Western nations to solely dictate the global agenda. During this address, Putin reaffirmed Russia's stance on various issues, with particular emphasis on the conflict in Ukraine. This makes it clear that now, Burkina Faso will not be just like any other African country. It will be the most powerful one. By enlisting Russian instructors to train its armed forces, Burkina Faso is set to see a significant boost in its military capabilities. Renowned for their rigorous and effective training methods, Russian military expertise has the potential to shape a more skilled and disciplined army in Burkina Faso. This improvement is crucial for strengthening the nation's ability to tackle both internal and external threats, including terrorism, insurgencies, and border security challenges. What's more, the possibility of Burkina Faso acquiring nuclear weapons capable of targeting Western countries represents a major shift in global power dynamics. Such arms could act as a deterrent against potential aggression from Western nations, altering the strategic landscape in the region. Earlier, the Western nations collaborated to change regimes in African countries and bring pro-Western leaders, but now they will think twice before doing anything. The introduction of nuclear energy training to Burkina Faso's population opens the door to the nation potentially pursuing its own nuclear weapons program. While nuclear energy has peaceful applications, such as generating electricity and medical research, the knowledge and infrastructure associated with it can be adapted for military use. This has made the West scared. You should know that a partnership between Burkina Faso and Russia holds significant implications for the geopolitical landscape, not only in West Africa, but also on a global scale. For Russia, securing Burkina Faso as an ally extends its influence in the region, providing strategic leverage against Western interests. Additionally, Burkina Faso's nuclear capability would prompt Western powers to reevaluate their strategies, potentially leading to diplomatic and security responses to address perceived threats. But what's the deal to open an embassy? Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's historic visit to Burkina Faso marked a significant milestone in the diplomatic relations between the two countries. The reopening of the Russian embassy in Ouagadougou in December 2023 was a pivotal event, ending a 31-year hiatus. Lavrov expressed heartfelt gratitude to Minister Traoré for his assistance in making this reopening possible. He emphasized the importance of Burkina Faso's support, noting that it was part of Russia's broader initiative to re-establish embassies across Africa. This strategic move aimed to strengthen Russia's diplomatic presence and foster closer relations with African nations. Lavrov thanked Burkina Faso for its effective help that has made it possible for Russia to resume the work of the embassy in Ouagadougou. He said that Burkina Faso was practically the first country where it has been done. So, what's the secret plan that President Ibrahim Traoré is following? In recent years, Burkina Faso has emerged as a key player in shaping relations between Africa and Russia, advocating for increased autonomy and independence among African nations in selecting their strategic partners. Driving this initiative are Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's president, and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Together, they have spearheaded efforts to amplify this movement, positioning Burkina Faso as a crucial intermediary between Russia and other African countries, particularly Niger and Mali. This collaborative endeavor aims to nurture African sovereignty and self-reliance while addressing pressing security concerns across the continent. Burkina Faso's pivotal role as a liaison between Russia and African nations stems from a shared vision of promoting autonomy and independence in international relations. Serving as Burkina Faso's ambassador to Russia, Ibrahim Traoré has played a pivotal role in fostering diplomatic ties between the two nations. Under Traoré's guidance, Burkina Faso has actively pursued partnerships that prioritize African interests and autonomy, challenging established power dynamics in global affairs. At the core of the Burkina Faso-Russia partnership lies a mutual commitment to bolstering African military capabilities and addressing security challenges proactively. Russian instructors are actively engaged in training Burkina Faso's armed forces, mirroring similar efforts in Niger. This collaboration underscores a shared objective: to develop a robust multinational military force capable of safeguarding African sovereignty and interests. By enhancing military capacity and cooperation, Burkina Faso and its allies seek to assert greater control over regional security dynamics. Additionally, the potential for Burkina Faso to acquire nuclear capabilities introduces a new dimension to African security strategies. While the prospect of nuclear armament may raise concerns by the West, it also serves as a powerful deterrent against external threats. Burkina Faso's ability to leverage nuclear deterrence underscores its determination to defend sovereignty and safeguard national interests. In the face of significant security challenges such as terrorism and transnational crime, nuclear deterrence offers a strategic advantage in maintaining peace and stability. The expansion of the Burkina Faso-Russia partnership to include other African nations signifies a broader commitment to fostering African autonomy and independence in global relations. By extending cooperation to countries like Niger and Mali, Burkina Faso and Russia aim to forge a coalition of allies united in their pursuit of sovereignty and self-determination. This initiative seeks to counterbalance external influence and ensure African nations have the autonomy to shape their destinies. Furthermore, the collaboration between Burkina Faso and Russia extends beyond military cooperation, including various sectors such as trade, infrastructure, and energy. By diversifying engagement, both nations aim to unlock economic opportunities and promote sustainable development across Africa. Through strategic investments and partnerships, Burkina Faso and Russia seek to empower African nations to chart their own paths and realize their full potential. Russia only wants one thing: an independent Africa free of Western influence and exploitation. It's because only then African countries will be able to see who really are their allies and with which countries they should build relations. Looking ahead, the Burkina Faso-Russia partnership holds significant promise for advancing African autonomy and independence on the global stage. As the relationship deepens and expands, African nations stand to benefit from enhanced security cooperation, economic development, and diplomatic engagement. By strengthening ties between Africa and Russia, Ibrahim Traoré and Vladimir Putin are laying the groundwork for a more equitable and resilient international order, where African nations are empowered to pursue their interests freely and independently. What do you think? Is Ibrahim Traoré taking the right step by allowing Russia to fill the military gap in Burkina Faso? Isn't it true that Ibrahim Traoré is intentionally choosing Russia because he knows the West fears Russia? In the comment section right below, share your thoughts on how Ibrahim Traoré should use Russian military instructors to train the Burkinabe army. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.